Creator, we are here in gratitude and for what may be seemingly odd things. Thank you for the 2+ years of COVID nonsense. The severity of the PSYOP has been brutal. There has been suffering, loss, and loss of life and loved ones. The gratitude is for the awakening of more people to the ends the evil ones and the complicit ones will go to. More are awakening to the truths of the shutout of the people. More are awakening to the school curriculums that are further indoctrinating and confusing our children as to who they were born as and whether that destiny should be shameful or changed. So here we are, the awake and the awakening. The number needed to join our pride of lions, only you know, beloved Creator. And so we prepare and we wear patience, for we know these are the necessary steps to enough people clamoring for a real change in the unnecessary millennia of pain and suffering, poverty and slavery we have endured, allowed, even voted and protested for. More eyes are open to see the light of truth and natural law. At its base is love. Let it be so, and so it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure.
My name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide General Assembly. We're trying to figure out how we can provide the people that are running for office to be elected to be in our government. How we can do that so that going in, we know that they will keep their word after they're elected. And that's a hard one. But I think we've got it figured out, or at least close enough so that we can make this video, and before the election happens, we'll have it down solid enough so that we'll know. And this is based on the word shibboleth, which is a password. And it's a password that depends upon being able to say the password correctly. Like the people in Africa that have the click in the middle of the word, only the people that were reared with that language can do the click. Everybody else that speaks the language speaks it without the click. And that's the shibboleth. That's the identifier. And that's what we're looking for. How do we identify these people that all say all the right words most of the time, and then after they get elected, they do other things? Some of them do enough good that people like my daughter say, well, it's okay that he broke his word and he broke his oath because he's done a lot of good. No, it's not. It's not good at all. It's not going to happen. No more. Done. So this is what we have. In the Oregon Constitution, my old beat up copy here, we have Article 7 amended and Article 7 original. Now, lots of you already know this, but I'm gonna show it again. There it is. Article 7 amended. The Judicial Department. Then there's Article 7 original. It's the only place in the Constitution where they made a change and didn't make a change. Because when you look at Article 7 original, it's original. That's what they put in. And they left it there. They didn't change it. They didn't amend it. They just left it there. And they put in a whole brand new one. And the brand new one determines how the judiciary is going to act. And it was placed into the Constitution by the people in charge in 1910. So it turns out that the people in charge that did this were bar attorneys. And we've been having trouble with bar attorneys on this land since 1800. They wrote a constitutional amendment called 13 Tona, Titles of Nobility, and esquires are a title of nobility. And the only one that claims esquires is attorneys. On Oregon, you can either be an esquire or a JD. But the shibboleth is taking your oath. Do you take your oath to Article 7 amended, like the judiciary does? It gives them a completely different oath. There's the oath on amended. It's different from the oath on original. The amended rearranges the judiciary completely, and it rearranges it in color of law. That's it. So when we talk to a person that's running for office and going to be elected, when they get elected, are they going to honor Article 7 original and be in the de jure? Or are they going to honor Article 7 amended and be in the de facto? The de facto is unlawful and illegal because it's based on fraud. And original is legitimate and legal and lawful. And it's based on law. So we have a way right now, this year, at this election, to say, Fred, when you get elected, here's original and here's amended, and you know the difference. And we just told you the story, and it's all true. So now, who are you going to take your oath to? If you take your oath to original, you're in the de jure and you're on our side. And we eliminate Article 7 amended because nobody will honor it. Now, all the judiciary, which are bar attorneys, and all of the Oregon State Bar all honor Article 7 amended. A lie. In color of law. That's how they want to do it. And all of them are that way. Every single one. Even the ones that say, I'm an attorney, but I don't like attorneys. They do a bunch of bad stuff. But I went to law school and I'm still an attorney. And he doesn't or she doesn't renounce the bar. They just stay in it. They pay their dues and they grouse about it. But when they go to court, they give automatic jurisdiction to the judge sitting on the bench, or they wouldn't be in that court. That's part of the game. That's how they do it. But when they take their oath this time, they'll be totally aware of the shibboleth, the password. They know the difference. Now, there's people running for the office of Court of Appeals, the Appellate Court of Oregon. That doesn't exist in Article 7 original. The office isn't there. So anybody running for that office will be unable to take an oath to Article 7 original because the office he's running for was created by fraud. So what are you going to do there? How are you going to make it right? I don't see how they can make it right. Maybe they can. Maybe somebody will help us out here and give us sufficient information that we'll be able to expand this out to perfection so that we can present it to every single person running for office. Now, you got to understand, they changed their jurisdiction from being one of the people, Oregonians. By being elected, they move into a different jurisdiction. They become the group that is there for our peace, safety, and happiness. They're no longer us, they are them, and they have a charge, they have a duty for our peace, safety, and happiness. Nothing else. We were in court yesterday. Clackamas, family law. It's a criminal organization. They are doing such evil you can't even believe it. And these judges and the attorneys, one judge and 6 attorneys in a room yesterday, keeping 4 children away from their mom and their dad. It's absolutely horrendous. And outside, I met a lady. They have her grandson. She can't get her grandson back. And they do all kinds of stuff to people to intimidate them and break them. And these people are not breaking and they're not intimidated. And we're going to make sure the right thing happens. And the right thing to happen is return Oregon to a constitutional Republican form of government that we haven't had since they put Article 7 amended into the Constitution and changed this into color of law. We have to get everybody that's electing, everybody that's running, all the people that are Oregonians and not persons, not with a hidden oath, not those people that, what is it? Uh, Nidra, where you can cancel your oath. Not those kind of people, people with honor. So there it is, the shibboleth. The shibboleth for us this year on Oregon in this election is Article 7 amended, de facto. Article 7 original, de jure. And you're for the people, and you're going to return Oregon to a constitutional Republican form of government in 2022. And I yield.
It was pretty
Very
good.
good.
Well done, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Probably type it out into the chat there, and I'll grab it. That way it's
Okay,
spelled properly.
I will.
I think may I make a suggestion? I don't have a suggestion for the title, but let me frame it in a conversation I had with a friend last night. And that is that she's wondering, she wants to vote for Mark Thielman, but she questions the integrity of the elections. And I think that, so of course we know about Article 7 amended versus original. I think if you can somehow in the title explain, because she said, how do we weed out these different, people who are running for office? Like she's concerned about some of the legislators too. And I said, well, first of all, you don't want an attorney. You don't want a doctor, a nurse, or a public health official. So it's a process of elimination. If they
You don't want
had the word
anybody that's promoted by any of those people either.
right, yeah, exactly.
See
So yeah,
the Joe Biden promotion constantly on freaking ads on YouTube.
yeah. Barbara Roberts endorses blah blah blah.
Yep, we
Anyone
don't
who's
want
been in
anybody
the
that they endorse.
anyone who's been in the 35 Democrat rule oligarchy has got a check mark against them. But at any rate, if in the title you could say something that is going to clarify to people why it's so important to process, out these liars and oath breakers and those who take the wrong oath. So I don't know how you say that in a title, but it's got to get their attention because this is very important what you just did, Ron. The de jure de facto correlation to Article 7, but also has to be relevant to people's lives right here, right now, who see a problem, but they don't know what it is to fix it. So how do you do that in title? I mean, it could be something as provocative.
You hit it. You hit it 3 or 4 times all around it. You didn't nail it, but you're so close that if you just keep talking for another couple of minutes, you're going to get it.
Well, I was just going to say why your vote count. How do you vote? I mean, it could be something more provocative, like a question. Here's why you need to, here's why or how your vote can make a difference. Here's maybe what you need to know to make a difference in 2022, something like that.
How do you determine the truth in 2022's election?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I like
real
that.
close. That's
Yeah, it
real
is.
close.
William.
I can't trust the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I know.
I can't. I already know too much.
Yeah.
I know that whatever the results are will be a lie because they don't do a physical count of every single vote. That in itself makes it a lie.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
but
have
we're going to change that.
Yeah, we need to go back to physical voting.
Yes.
So here's what happened to me yesterday. When was the cutoff for changing your party affiliation?
I
When
thought it
was
was
that?
the 28th of this month. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So this same friend I talked to last night, and I don't talk to her very long. We email each other back and forth. We're both up late, and so I finally called her last night. We're a face-to-face or a voice-to-voice conversation, and we were talking about the whole election thing. And I said, I'm really fried and annoyed because I was expecting to get my affiliation card today for the party I signed up for, which is Republican, and so I could vote for Mark Thielman. And she said, and I said, instead of getting my party affiliation recognition, I got a ballot. And I opened the ballot because I wanted to see if they had gotten my registration. And it was for the independent affiliation that I had registered for a while back. And I was so disappointed and fried. So anyway, I mentioned that to her and she said, yeah, that happened to me too. She called the office, the election office, and she told them the situation. They said, oh, no problem. We have those ready to go, mailed out in advance. So we'll mail you, now get this, we'll mail you the ballot choice, of your new party affiliation. And just mail that one in. And it's like, oh, okay, so now she has 2 ballots. What she said, oh, so I should just tear it up? He said, well, no, just don't worry about it. Just mail in the one that is the one that you registered for last.
And the other one
look at
too,
this.
if you want.
Yeah, probably. Or, throw it away and someone finds it in your recycling or whatever and they fill it. I mean, come on.
Mail it in for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so messed up because my
There's
mind
no
immediately
integrity.
so my mind immediately went to, well, if I had to go to a precinct to vote, I would have to declare what party or affiliation it was that I was voting for, which also is a corruption because on Oregon, we have to have a party affiliation to be able to vote for the primary party members of that particular party. So there's a corruption. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Well, because it's a club, and that's what people don't realize, that the Republican Party is a club, and you have to belong to the club to elect somebody to run for the main election. And most people don't understand any of this law. The only time they actually start figuring this out is when they get so damn upset they start studying it, and it's very rare that these people get to that point. They don't understand the laws that we talk about. They don't understand how the elections work and how they're so corrupted, and that there's no actual hope in sight.
That's right. Yeah,
You know,
and when you know all of that, it is very challenging to be to be involved, quite honestly, because you
You
know that
think?
you're stepping into the you know the shit the shit storm.
yeah, I've said it before. I will never ever pretend to vote in an election ever again in my life. I will never pretend to do it.
Yeah, well, that's honorable.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is when it's that corrupt.
Yeah.
You know, when you see those numbers on the election site, right, the Secretary of State's website, and you look at those numbers of how many people voted for or against the ballot measure or in an office, those numbers are completely wrong. I don't care if it goes all the way down to 342. Those two aren't real.
Yeah. Well, that's what Liberty was saying yesterday, Ron, why she didn't think that any vote was going to matter. It's true. I mean, but you know, we have to somehow, I mean, I'm going to make a stink about the fact that I got the wrong ballot because I clearly sent in my request in advance of the date. And I've been expecting that card back for a week and I haven't seen it.
Well, that's the
And then
thing,
I
is that
get
there's
this ballot.
confusion. There's going to be confusion, and that's what they're hoping for, because people get all upset and they go, "I'm going to switch parties so that I can freaking do something with the Republican Party," and they get that one, and instead of doing anything, like you did and understanding it, they just go, "Oh, I guess I did it too late or something," and then they just fill that one out and send it in, and then later on they get the other one. Then they're like, "Well, now I have a second one. Well, I can't vote twice or, whatever, right?" So then they just let that other one go, right? Or it ends up in their mess of mail at the house,
Yeah, I know. It's
So
something
they're
else.
hoping for confusion.
Yeah. Well, they do a good job of that.
Very good job of it.
Yeah. Nice to see you all here. I'm going to go.
I say, how to differentiate the truth in our 2022 election.
Co-Conspirators, all persons employed by or associated with police, sheriffs, marshals, and others of that ilk on Oregon, operating in the de facto incorporated governance of Article 7 amended, either self-correct to the de jure Article 7 original, or be tried in our de jure civilian court of record with a true bill from our grand jury. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Returning to a de jure government after more than 100 years of deceit due to Article 7 amended is difficult, and we put forward our best effort. Article 1, Section 1, Natural Rights Inherent in People. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority, and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. That's from the Oregon Constitution.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up.
And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.